weekend, Mbadi caused a social media uproar after insulting the Odingas. What did you think about Mbadi's speech? Was he rather disrespectful after all? It is Raila Odinga who placed him on the seat he is in. Remember, Raila passed on after leaving a few of the members in the broad-based government, including leaving ODM with two cabinet secretaries, Mbadi being one of them. But the remarks he made caused a social media uproar after everyone thought he was rather disrespectful to the Odinga's family, to be precise. Raila Odinga the late, may he rest his soul. After Mbadi's explosive reaction, we see that Mama Ida and also Winnie Odinga came out to actually lecture Mbadi. Can we listen to Mbadi's explosion?
Don't keep us back. Baba said this. Baba did not say this. Where is that Baba now to give us the evidence whether he said or he did not say? No, this is post-Raila era. We must be candid, we must be forthright, and we must chart our way forward. You cannot keep us back. Baba said this. Baba did not say this. Where is that Baba now to give us the evidence whether he said or he did not say? He is not there anymore. It's 6 months. Baba did a lot for us, but we also fought for Baba. Yesterday, niliona watu wengine, they are trying to advise me how to be a minister for finance. You can't. You have no capacity to advise me. I have been chairman of ODM under Raila Odinga for 10 years. It's not a mean achievement. I have been minority leader for 5 years. It's not a mean achievement. I am now minister for 2 years. It's not a mean achievement. I was assistant minister in the office of the prime minister. It's not a mean achievement. You can't come from nowhere to start advising me. First, seek an elective position, be elected, and then people will start also nurturing you as a leader going forward. But we are not going to tolerate petty and small and juvenile politics. I am not ready for that. I will not succumb to that. I have to talk to our people. We are also ready to lead. This country is not for a few people. I am ready to lead. Who tells you I cannot lead? I am ready to lead this country, even going forward as the president, not just as any other organization. You cannot avoid this. If you want to come to the field under Wanga, kupigana na mimi kusiasa, mimi am ready. I will not waste my time with juvenile.
Well, Winnie Odinga did not spare Mbadi. She came out strong during Senator Onyonka's mother's burial in Kisii with an explosive rapture, lecturing Mbadi without a second thought. Can we listen to Winnie Odinga?
And work more. Asante sana. So to conclude, it's why viongozi vya uchumi need to focus on the things that matter in this economy. To finish, the National Treasury is not a political office. The National Treasury of the Republic of Kenya is not a personal office. The National Treasury of the economy of the largest economy in East and Central Africa is not a platform for you to abuse us and talk to us however you want. That is where we carry our economy. Kazi ya hiyo ofisi, unajua kazi ya hiyo ofisi ni kulinda how would you say it? Ni kulinda dhamani ya pesa ya wananchi. Who said wajalua wajui Swahili? Umesikia? That is the work of that office. And therefore, as public servants, I think we need to take a little step in how we treat each other, how we talk to people. We need to pay more attention to the people on the ground. We need to listen to them.
Well, Mama Ida Odinga wasn't left behind. She came out with an explosive rapture on Mbadi and how he disrespected the late Raila Odinga. Remember, we are talking about Raila's legacy. If it wasn't for Raila Odinga, Mbadi would not be in the broad-based government and he wouldn't be where he is currently as we speak. Let us listen to Mama Ida.
They are gone. And sometimes I hear people asking, where are they now? I don't want to answer them, but I will just remind them of what some scholars had said in history. In the book of Shakespeare, it says a very obvious thing, that no life lives forever, and a dead man rises up never. And that's how everybody, we all know that. But at the same time, in Professor Mbithi's book of the religions, African religion studies, he says that so long as people are remembering you, so long as, even if you're dead, people are mentioning your name, he talks of the living dead. And when he talks of the living dead, I think he's talking about Raila, talking about Jaramogi, talking about those great people who are left us physically, but their spirit is here with us. Those are the living dead. So long as people remember you and mention your name, their spirit is with us. So we are not worried. And sometimes, I would say, sometimes politicians get very excited because they think he's gone and they're for nothing. We learn from them. There's history that they've left behind. They're the living dead.
Well, do you think Mbadi was actually sent by someone to insult the Odingas, or he's actually doing this to please Ruto? Rather, others are saying he is doing all this in order to secure his job and position in the broad-based government. But is it necessary to actually insult the late Raila Odinga, who actually built ODM? Now remember the ODM meeting in Mombasa, which Oburu was absent. Mbadi decided to take on Ruth Odinga, the sister of the party leader, insinuating that she has no audacity to actually lecturing them despite being the sister of the party leader. This has sparked some huge criticism. Why take on the Odinga's family? Is he looking to be axed? Because we all know that he is actually holding this position of cabinet secretary because of Raila Odinga. Had it not been the broad-based agreement, Mbadi would not be in that position. So why the arrogance? Why the insults? Is he being sent by someone to actually insult the Odingas? Since he joined the broad-based, could he is trying to impress Ruto with the insults towards the Odinga's family? But what's your take? Because Mama Ida has intervened. And Winnie Odinga, who has been totally lectured. Remember, Mbadi is like, she should get a public office before lecturing him on how to handle ODM matters. Was this really necessary? Was it necessary? Remember, Winnie Odinga was promised a deputy position slot, and she was opposed to Oburu Odinga at one point after Raila passed on and the struggles of who wants to control ODM. Okay, so after the promise of the leadership, she decided to go on the low. She was on the leader side and decided to cross over. So with the Winnie Odinga appearing at the burial of Senator Onyonka's mother's burial, we saw her sitting right next to Sifuna and even interacting with the Babu Owino Sifuna and having an interactive session. People are now speculating, how news anchors are very fast in getting those simple things that make news. Now, Winnie Odinga is on the way to actually join forces with the Linda Mwananchi. But do you think this is actually true? What's your opinion? Leave me there your view on the comment section. Do you think Winnie Odinga is actually going to join the Linda Mwananchi rally after being spotted seated next to Edwin Sifuna during the burial of Senator Onyonka's mother? And Winnie Odinga is actually one person who is advocating for change in ODM. So definitely, and she could be the right person to actually hold this title of party leader or something, because she is a daughter of Raila Odinga. Their legacy, their father's legacy, they're not about to let it slide. So if Mbadi is this disrespectful, do you think they can actually advocate for him to be removed as cabinet secretary? Well, leave me there your views. I'd love to hear your opinion on what you are actually advocating for. It is because of Raila Odinga most of these politicians are who they are, despite the betrayal and the continuous disrespect like Mbadi has shown all Kenyans. It has sparked an outrage on all social media platforms. Everyone is talking about the level of disrespect that Mbadi has shown the Odinga's family, Raila to be specific. But what's your take? Why do you think Mbadi actually disrespected Raila in this manner? Leave me your views there on the comments section. Follow me for more updates. If it is your first time to listen in, press your subscribe button and ring your notification bell so that you can actually have the news bulletins once we upload them. Until then, JD Ishmaels.